One of the best matchups for the Week 6 slate. We have the reigning MVP Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens taking on rookie Jayden Daniels and the 4-1 Commanders. Daniels' name now being thrown around in some of the MVP conversation, and it's for a pretty good reason. He's the first player in NFL history to pass for at least 1,000 yards and rush for at least 250 in his first 5 career games. So, of course, the comparisons are being made between Jayden Daniels and Lamar Jackson, and it's hard not to because there's a lot of similarities. You see them listed out here, both first-round picks, both won the Heisman Trophy, both ranked top 5 in the MVP odds. The list goes on and on and on. So it's easy to draw that comparison, but here's how Dan Quinn feels about comparing Jayden Daniels to Lamar Jackson.
I think everybody knows, how, exceptional and remarkable Lamar is. And so I get why people would say that. Here's somebody who's got athletic ability and can absolutely rip it as well. But I've always wanted Jayden to be the best version of him, and absolutely go for it in that way. They'll feature different ways in the offense than we do. But, as far as like comparison, I didn't allow myself to kind of go down all that road. I just really wanted to kind of stay in all the things that he could do and how we would feature him in our offense with our guys.
Let's welcome in our football analyst Trent Green to discuss. We heard Dan Quinn there saying, "Hey, I don't like to dabble in that comparison business when it comes to Lamar Jackson and Jayden Daniels." It's hard not to compare them, but let's give you a hypothetical here, Trent, because if Jayden Daniels and the Commanders go 5-1 and they beat Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, how much more does that propel him into this MVP conversation, in your opinion?
Well, I think it has to. I know what Dan Quinn, that's a great answer on his part. That's what a head coach is supposed to do, is deflect some of the pressure. All of a sudden you're comparing a rookie who's started a handful of games against a 2-time MVP and someone that's accomplished quite a bit in this league. So I can appreciate where Dan Quinn's coming from, but there are a lot of comparisons. The success that they had, the Heisman Trophy that they had in college, the fact that he runs the ball and throws the ball well. I mean, there are so many different things you can compare about him. I do think that Jayden's a little bit more of a refined passer. I think when you're talking about accuracy, I'm not talking about completion percentage. I'm talking about accuracy, where putting the ball in certain locations where guys can get yards after a catch. I think Jayden's a little bit further along than Lamar was when he came into the NFL, and I think Lamar's a little bit better runner than what Jayden is in terms of his overall speed and elusiveness and some of the things that he does with his legs. So there are a little bit of slight differences, but you are going to get Jayden Daniels a lot of MVP conversation if they're able to pull off the win over Baltimore. Lamar had such a huge game last week. I called that game with Kevin Harlan and Melanie Collins, and what a fantastic game it was with Burrow and Lamar going head-to-head, and Lamar came out on top.
Yeah, and there's been that conversation that, hey, maybe the Commanders, they can put up a lot of points, but not necessarily against great teams. So if they can do that against the Ravens, certainly going to be talking a whole lot more about the Commanders and Jayden Daniels. Let's talk about this next quarterback matchup. This is going to be the game that you're on the call for, Trent, and we're talking about Houston versus New England and C.J. Stroud, and reports saying that it is now Drake May that is going to be under center there for New England. And we talked about it a little bit earlier in the show. Is this the best move? What are your thoughts on New England potentially putting Drake May out there as we're week 6 into the season and all the other parts that are around him there in New England?
Well, I think it's really, you've kind of hit that point of the season, right, where things aren't going as well as what you had hoped. And so to kind of shake things up and maybe infuse some excitement, infuse some energy into your team, into your locker room, into your offense. This seems to be the right move. It only got announced, or seemed to have been announced a few minutes ago, and I think this is a good thing for the New England Patriots. Hopefully it can jumpstart them offensively, because they've had struggles offensively. Just trying to get any yardage and points put on the board, it has been a struggle. Drake May was 3rd overall pick for a reason. He completed 65% in college, over 8,000 yards with 30 game appearances, and here's the hard part for me, though, when looking at this. And I know C.J. Stroud's been phenomenal, but you look at what Houston does defensively. They are number 1 in the NFL in completion percentage allowed. They are allowing less than 52% complete, which is number 1 defense in the league. So this is a tall order to ask a rookie to go in against the team that doesn't give up a lot of completions or give up a lot of yards or give up a lot of points for that matter. There's only 2 times this year they've given up more than 300 yards of offense. So it's a tough defense to face. But I think for this matchup and trying to match the firepower that C.J. Stroud has, this is really no other choice for New England than to go with Drake May and try and infuse some energy.
Yeah, it's certainly a tall order, to your point, for that offense that we just saw is pretty much last in every statistical category to produce against Houston and that defense. Let's talk about this next quarterback matchup. We have the Bears and the Jags. We're going across the pond over to London, and we have 2 number-1 overall picks in Trevor Lawrence and Caleb Williams. And it feels like at this point that Trevor Lawrence has far more to prove than Caleb Williams.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's been a struggle this year for Trevor Lawrence. He got the big contract, and they started off the season struggling. They haven't won a football game, and then all of a sudden this week he completes over 80% of his passes, nearly 400 yards, gets the win over Indianapolis, overseas, and now all of a sudden you bring in a rookie who the last couple of weeks has played really, really well, over 300 yards passing. For Caleb Williams, he's managed things. He's protecting the football more than what Trevor Lawrence does, or what Trevor Lawrence did, particularly early in his career and prior to last week. So you look at this matchup, and you got two quarterbacks coming into this that are pretty hot right now because of what they did for Caleb Williams the last 2 weeks and for Trevor Lawrence this past game. So, Jacksonville's just going to try keeping it going. I know it's technically a home game for the Bears over in London, but you have to remember Jacksonville spends a lot of time over there, and they're used to playing over there. So I don't know if it's necessarily a home game, but it's more of a home game for Jacksonville than it is for the Bears, who technically are counted as the home team here. There
are certainly more Jags fans in London than there are Bears fans, and they're sticking with the throwback jerseys. So hopefully that is going to be good news for the Jags. Trent, we certainly appreciate it, talking about all the quarterback matchups that we're going to see.